Cyclists, the unsung heroes of the asphalt, or at least that's what they'd like you to think. There's something almost poetic about them, gliding along on their high-tech bikes, looking like they're fresh off a podium finish. Except instead of gold medals, they're collecting passive-aggressive honks and side-eye from drivers everywhere. You see them at stoplights, standing there all smug like they've discovered the secret to life. That it's really just about combining eco-consciousness with a total disregard for your time. You have to admire the audacity, though. There's a certain confidence that comes with knowing you're holding up 2 tons of steel and gasoline with nothing but your quads and a sense of moral superiority. They own the road, or at least act like they do, fearlessly taking up as much space as they need, sometimes more because, one cyclist taking up an entire lane is just not enough. Why go single file when you can form a lycra-covered, slow-moving wall of passive defiance? And let's talk about those group rides. Oh yes, you've seen them. Packs of cyclists rolling 5, 6, even 10 deep, spread out across the road like a moving swarm of neon-clad ants. They move as one, an impenetrable force of pedal power, blocking traffic like they're filming their own slow-motion, action-packed bike chase. If you're lucky, they'll give you just enough room to pass, after what feels like a lifetime of watching them huff and puff their way through a slight incline. Ever notice how cyclists always seem to find the most narrow, most traffic-clogged streets possible to ride on? Forget the scenic bike paths or the nice wide lanes made specifically for bikes. Oh no, that would be too easy. They need the thrill of weaving in and out of cars, dodging potholes and disregarding crosswalks like they're starring in their own extreme sports movie. Then there's the moment, the iconic moment, when you're driving. You see a cyclist up ahead, just there, in the middle of the lane, and you slow down because God forbid you try to pass them. Oh no, it's not worth the risk. You don't want to be that person. So you crawl behind them, watching as they pedal along with the intensity of someone trying to outrun their student loans, yet somehow managing to go just slower than you thought was humanly possible. And then when you finally get the chance to pass them, they give you that little nod, that tiny acknowledgement, as if to say, "You may go, mere mortal, I permit it." As if they're a benevolent deity granting you safe passage. Ah yes, thank you, O great lycra overlord, for your grace and mercy. And let's not forget the gear. Oh yes, they've got gadgets strapped to their bikes that could probably track a lunar landing, when all they're really doing is trying to navigate around a squirrel. You know, the 5,000-pound carbon fibre bike designed to be so light it practically floats. Except for the rider who's somehow carrying an extra 50 pounds of self-righteousness in their backpack. Oh, but the grand finale is when they come to a red light. Ah, traffic laws. They seem to apply in the most whimsical, selective way to our lycra-clad friends. Sometimes they stop, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they pause, glance around and decide, nah, this red light is more of a suggestion, really. Meanwhile, there's me, sitting in my car like a law-abiding chump, wondering if I should start running stop signs too, just to fit in. They leave a trail of confusion, frustration, and unasked-for moral superiority in their wake. And they'll always remind you of how they're saving the planet, one agonizingly slow pedal stroke at a time. Do you think I'm wrong? On your bike.